Oh, happy Monday, North Central Washington. It is the 18th day of December, 2017. Wake up, Wenatchee Valley, an auspicious beginning to this program.
Are we on yet?
We're on the air, Steve. We are on the air. We are live here from Studio 9 in downtown Wenatchee. I am Dan Koontz, your host. Steve Hare, our news director to my immediate left. Kat is in the control room, and Sue Baker is patiently standing by in the waiting room. She'll be my guest in the second half of the show, the executive director of Chelan Douglas CASA, court-appointed special advocacies, and it's good to have her on board.
Yes,
so
always good, especially this time of the year.
Yeah, they're one of the four, count them four, beneficiaries of the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive. So we'll be talking about that and all kinds of CASA-related stuff. They're great people who do great work, very important work.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful program. It really has. Outside of that, the usual shenanigans apply. How about them Seahawks?
You know, I had to post something on Facebook last night. You probably saw it.
What did it say?
You remember the old Monday Night Football?
Sure.
Don Meredith?
Yeah. Oh,
turn out the lights.
The party's over.
The party's over.
Seahawks aren't going to make the playoffs.
Well, they shouldn't.
No, not the way they played yesterday.
No way.
No way
You want them in the playoffs
Yeah.
the way they look right now.
Yeah.
But they got beat in every facet of the game yesterday. Offense, defense. They don't have an offensive line.
They look bad.
Their defense is decimated by injuries.
But also, it should be pointed out that Los Angeles is a very good football team.
They are a good team this year.
Yeah, and
I never thought I'd ever root against the Rams. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, well, being a Southern California guy.
Yeah.
The aura that surrounds the 12th man is kind of weakened just a little bit. You notice that? People are coming into Quest Field, or CenturyLink Field, I should say, and just beating us good.
Well, this time they did.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, we're not doing very good at home.
42-7.
Yeah, but we've lost a lot of home games this year, the Seahawks have.
Yeah.
That's usually not the way it is. Enough Seahawks talk. We'll talk about the Seahawks when we get to sports. Good weekend for the Wenatchee Wild. We got all your local prep scores from over the weekend. Everybody needs to be in their best behavior here at the NCW Live channel, because guess who's paying us a visit a little bit later on this morning?
Who?
Santa.
Santa's going to be here.
The big guy himself will be here. He's going to be Mike McNally's guest on Street Talk and other stuff at 10 o'clock.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so you'll find out right from the horse's mouth whether you're on the naughty or nice
Father
list.
Christmas or Santa?
It's Santa Claus.
Santa.
He's actually booked Santa Claus. This is I mean, I try and book Santa Claus every year because he and I are tight. I got Santa's cell phone
We'd better
number.
be on our best behavior then, Dan.
Yeah, well, that's for me. That's a no-brainer. You're the one I'm concerned about, Steve. I know how you can be
Well.
at times. If you're dreaming of a white Christmas, that's all you're going to be doing, because at this point, remember, Christmas is 1 week from today. It's Christmas Day. No snow.
No white Christmas for us.
Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it at all. Forecast details are coming up, but the mountain passes, they're going to be measuring the snow in feet. We'll talk about that when we get to the pass report and everything
perfect.
else.
That's a perfect scenario, though.
I want snow on the ground for Christmas.
I don't.
Really?
Well, it makes no difference to me. It's kind of overrated.
What?
Mountains, it's fine. I love to have snow
No.
in the
I mean,
mountains.
here's my perfect case scenario. Christmas Eve, about noonish or so on the 24th, Sunday the 24th, it just starts snowing to beat the band here in the Wenatchee Valley. It puts everybody in the mood. And we have snow Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, maybe a couple of days after, and then spring. Let's do it.
Okay.
That's what I like.
I can live with that.
Okay.
I'm still adjusting to the Northwest. See?
Steve, you've lived here for 27 years. Get used to it, buddy.
Newcomer.
4 minutes after the hour, on our cameras around the valley, normally we start out with what we affectionately call the cross camera at the tip of Wenatchee Heights. It is down right now. It's not working. So we've sent somebody up to that location to put quarters in. Got to feed quarters in the machine, then it'll be up and running hopefully by tomorrow. So we have some different cameras to look at today, including this camera, downtown Wenatchee from the roof of the Cascadian looking to the north. These, of course, are all courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet network.
Quiet morning on the have, isn't it?
It's going to be quiet this week because, Steve, a lot of people are going to be taking some time off, and also the schools are out now. They're on Christmas break. So most of the kids, I'm sure, are sleeping in and not watching this program, which is fine.
Wake them up.
Wake them up. That's camera number one. Camera two. Let's find out together, Steve.
Oh, look at this.
That's cool. Is
Where
that jump
are we?
off? That's jump off ridge. Yeah, jump off ridge. Look at that layer.
Looking down on the heights and Three Lakes area.
What an amazing shot that is. Jump off ridge. By the way, we're going to get a little bit of rain today, and highs will be in the 40s, but big cold air coming our way towards the end of the week. And again, as we mentioned before, there's no real snow for the Wenatchee Valley.
And stagnant air is a thing of the past.
It's gone. Yep. At least the weather is not boring. The one thing that we had for that 10-day stretch of that was It was just boring weather. At least it's not going to be boring.
Now, you may see some waves of smoke coming up from, since they've resumed the burning season again.
It's a distinct possibility. That is an amazing view of, I don't know. I'm sorry,
Is
Caleb?
that Monument?
That's Monument. Oh, it's Monument. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, there's Quincy. There's Quincy. Opportunities are unlimited out there. I should know better than that. Monument Hill. Good morning, Columbia Basin. Thanks for joining us. We have a lot of viewers out there, in the Columbia Basin, Steve. And finally, camera 4 is that's Lake Chelan. Yep, that's the Manson Water Tower camera, I think. Maybe Butte. Oh,
Union Valley.
Union Valley. Okay. So Chelan, figure out what you're looking at, is to the left. You can't quite see it. Union Valley is a beautiful site up there. Gorgeous area. Good morning, Lake Chelan.
Boy, look at the dusting of snow up there. Pretty.
It could all be gone with highs in the 40s for the next couple of days. We're going to have
Close
some
call
sun
up there this weekend with their little fire they had up there.
We can have a little story on that?
Yeah, we do,
Okay,
as a matter of fact.
good. Steve does have the news, by the way, coming up here in just a couple minutes. But next thing we do on our agenda is, of course, the weather forecast from the National Weather Service. And look at that high today, Steve. 44 degrees, a mild and breezy weather system is going to pay us a visit. We're not going to get a great deal of wind. The Cascades are going to buffer that, but
My feet are starting to get cold, though.
are they?
Yeah, looking at this forecast.
Well, you got to look towards the end of the weekend. Slight chance of some light rain today, some sun breaks. For the most part, it's going to be cloudy, but 44 degrees is about 12 degrees above normal for this time of year. A little bit of light rain tonight as the system rolls in. The rain that's going to come to us in the valley floor is going to bring lots of snow to the mountain passes. Those details are coming up. Pretty good chance of measurable rain on Tuesday as well, Steve. We got about a 90% chance of rain tonight and on Tuesday. We dry out Tuesday night. Then we begin a gradual cool down on Wednesday and Thursday, and by Friday we have a slight chance. You see that snowflake there? That's being very optimistic. There's about a 30% chance of light snow Thursday night into Friday, but it's just enough that we went ahead and put the icons up anyway. So we may get 3 flakes on Thursday night and 3 more flakes on Friday. So that's about it. And then a big cool down. The system rolls out, the jet stream goes back to where it's supposed to be, and we'll have cold Arctic air paying us a visit Saturday and Sunday.
You see that Sunday icon there?
Yeah.
That should be a red sun.
Well, we can do something.
That could reflect Rudolph's nose.
Yeah, Caitlin will make something. We have a top-notch graphic department.
Yes, we do.
We do, and when occasionally they even show up and get some work done around here. So that is your forecast from the National Weather Service. Mountain passes, oh boy, here you go. It's not going to be pretty today. Right now on I-90, it's raining, Steve. It's raining hard, and you got standing water all over the place. So no hydroplaning. Hydroplaning is not allowed. By the way, that rain is going to switch over to snow. They're going to have that phenomenon, Steve, that we see occasionally. This is the warmest part of the day for the passes, and as the day progresses, instead of warming up, it's going to cool down, and the snow is going to come. Stevens Pass, it is snowing, compact snow and slush and ice and gluck on the roadway, and traction tires are advised. No advisories or restrictions on Blewett right now. It's raining up there. Roadway is bare and wet, but all the mountain passes, major, minor, and in between, are going to get some snow. Again, as the day progresses, the temperatures will begin to fall, and that means the snow will come. The rain comes down now, switches over to snow. Snow accumulations today in the mountain passes, 4 to 8 inches. Tonight, Steve, 8 to 12 inches of snow. Tuesday, an additional 7 to 11 inches of snow. Tuesday night, a few more inches of snow, 3 to 5 inches of snow. So lots of snow is coming to the mountain passes. By Wednesday, they dry out, and then starting Wednesday night and going all the way through Sunday, there is no snow in the forecast at all. So they're going to get a lot of snow beginning later on today, and basically it's going to snow pretty consistently through Tuesday night.
Boy, I can imagine Mission Ridge is going to be busy this coming weekend.
Yeah, well again, no school.
No school.
No school. And
brand new skis.
Yeah, let's go out and do it. So again, mountain passes right now, traction tires are advised on Stevens with quite a bit of snow coming down. No advisories or restrictions on Blewett or I-90. They're getting rain. All the passes are going to get snow, and a lot of it. So, later on today, rain switches over to snow, and again, from later on this afternoon all the way through Tuesday night, it's going to snow pretty consistently. But for the holiday weekend, there is no snow at all in the forecast for the mountain passes. So there you go. That is your weather forecast. That is cameras around the valley. That is your mountain pass report. We've already killed 10 minutes, and we've only made 9 mistakes in the first 10 minutes of this program, which I believe is a new record, Steve.
I've still got to catch up.
That's true. Well, you got news to do, so who knows what's going to happen in a minute. 60 seconds away, and we'll fill your brain full of information, everything you need to know to get your work week going. Steve Hare as your morning news. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live here from Studio 3 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life Channel.
contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around north central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
And welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley for this Monday. Again, here's what's happening around north central Washington. First of all, a bizarre situation in the Eastmont School District last week. Thankfully, a school bus was already empty when a stranger approached and boarded the bus last Thursday afternoon. Kind of a strange case here. Superintendent Garn Christensen said the incident happened at a little after 4 p.m. as that bus was headed back to the garage. It was empty at the time. Says the man boarded the bus. He was distraught, did not appear well. He asked the driver to take him to Quincy. The driver told the man it was not a public bus and twice asked the man to get off. The young man would not get off the bus. He went to the back of the bus where he sat quietly. At that point, the driver notified the transportation supervisor of what had happened, and then he drove off, proceeded to Clovis Intermediate School, where he was met there by law enforcement, kids still riding in the back of the bus. Officers escorted the man from the bus and had him transported to the hospital. No students or employees were threatened or injured during that incident. Meanwhile, the identity of the young man was not immediately available, but all's well that ends well there. 2 people hospitalized Saturday, one in critical condition, in a one-vehicle crash that occurred in Moses Lake. Here's an image provided to us and a photo from the Moses Lake Police Department. Now, this happened around 4 a.m. when deputies noticed a BMW driven by 29-year-old Nicholas Romero Rivera of Moses Lake. Now, Rivera had been sought as a suspect in an unrelated vehicle assault case. The BMW ran a stop sign, sped away from the deputy who gave up the pursuit. A short time later, Moses Lake police saw the same vehicle a few miles north of town. The BMW again took off at a high rate of speed. Moses Lake police were in pursuit, but then they tried to stop the vehicle, but then they also gave up the pursuit a short time until Romero Rivera recklessly fled the area. Now, the suspect lost control of the car. It then went airborne, slid out of control until it tripped and rolled multiple times. Romero Rivera was treated for his non-life-threatening injuries. His passenger, 22-year-old Selena Perez, was last reported in critical condition. She was transferred to a hospital in Spokane where she was being treated. Charges are pending in that case. A close call Saturday evening in Chelan as crews responded to a 2-alarm fire at a popular lakeside lodge. In fact, officials with Chelan County Fire District 7 say the fire at the Grand View Resort, as you can see here in the center of your picture, smoke alarms sounded, forcing some residents, or guests I should say, to be evacuated from the building. Chief Tim Lemon with Chelan County 7 told the Wenatchee World that the quick response prevented the fire from spreading, heading off a potential catastrophe, in his words. The cause of the fire was under investigation. Luckily, no one was hurt there. A Canadian man has been ordered to pay a large fine for unpermitted development on Palmer Lake. This located near Loomis in Okanagan County. Washington State Department of Ecology issued the administrative order and $21,600 penalty yesterday to Greg Newmarch of Kelowna, British Columbia. That was for the unauthorized shoreline construction on Palmer Lake without permits or authorization to work on the shoreline. Newmarch reportedly removed all vegetation and created a building pad for a new residence by installing fill and retaining walls above and below the ordinary high water mark on that property he owns on Palmer Lake. Again, the administrative order requires Newmarch to remove the unpermitted development and restore the lake bed and shoreline of the lake. He obtained necessary environmental permits before doing that. The order and penalty follow a notice of correction issued back in November of 2016. Numerous technical assistance efforts and site visits. Newmarch now has 30 days to file an appeal with the state's Shoreline Hearings Board. Elsewhere, the 2018 Washington State Apple Blossom Festival got a kick start Last week, with the selection of the top 25 Royal Court candidates, Festival Administrator Darcy Christopherson made the announcement last week on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with our beloved host, Dan Koontz.
But we're excited. So these girls have already had their first speech practice, and then they'll enjoy their Christmas break with their families and then come back to school, and speech day is January 10th, and we'll have a top 10 that evening.
Is there a chance for the public to meet the 25 before January 10th?
No.
Okay.
There is an event.
Okay.
There is an event on January 9th. We call it the candidates reception, and we do that at the Performing Arts Center. It's at 7 p.m. and we encourage the public to come. It's kind of an icebreaker for the girls to get ready for speech day, is what I call it. Because getting in front of your whole school is scary.
Yeah.
To give a 2 to 3 minute speech. So we created this reception. I think they did it in the 70s. The Past Royalty Association used to put it on, and we've just continued it. And every year, the girls say, "Oh, I'm so glad I did that. Now I'm ready to do tomorrow." So we really encourage the public. If you have a candidate that you know and that you want to support, come to that event.
Now, from that list of 25 finalists, you'll get 10 finalists who will be selected from that group. The Apple Blossom Festival starts on April 26th. By the way, if you go to our website at ncwlife.com, we have the full listing of all of their names from Wenatchee and the Eastmont School District. So good luck to all 25 of those young ladies. One final note here, of course, Christmas right around the corner. A week from today is the big day. We got a special Christmas greeting here, Dan, from our own Ray McNeil. Ray, of course, does the popular Tech Talk program here on NCW Life, and he actually sends us those features from Australia.
It's where he's living now. Has been for a couple of years.
Sam.
Yeah.
So he sent us a little video Christmas card
check it
from Australia.
Be Captain Ray McNeil. I'm your video game Victor Ray McNeil. I'm your master of, it's even worse, I'm your tech elf. Oh, hi there. I'm just working on my newest show, and as you can see, Christmas in Australia is treating me well. While I miss the Wenatchee Valley and all of our friends and family, I would love to share some of this warmth with you this holiday season. So here's the best I've come up with. Hit record on your DVR, and anytime you feel cold or want a bit of the beach life, play this video on a loop and enjoy. From my family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Oh, Ray, what a hard life, huh?
Of course, it should be pointed out, this Thursday, the 21st, is the first day of winter for us here in the Northern Hemisphere. It's the first day of summer for the real deal Ray McNeil down there in Australia.
The winter solstice.
Yes.
Yes.
It's almost upon us.
Yeah.
Shortest day of the year. And if you're just joining us, I looked ahead at the National Weather Service, the forecast right now, as it sits right now, for a week from today, which is Christmas Day, and we'll go back even to Sunday and Saturday for Christmas weekend, Christmas Eve, and the 25th, a week from today. Doesn't look like we're going to have a white Christmas.
Well, maybe we can get Mission Ridge to bring one of their cannons down to your house or something, and then you can spray some snow in your house.
I wouldn't mind that. I want a white Christmas. I think we all do. Although looking at Ray's video, looks pretty cool to me,
That
too.
looks pretty nice,
I
too,
can live with
doesn't
that.
it? Yeah.
Don't forget the news with Grant Olson. Comes your way Monday through Friday at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Grant Olson will be handling your news duties. Steve is our news director. He farms out the news. We go out and we gather and disseminate and try to put together an award-winning newscast, and I think we're pretty good at it.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
We're getting there.
A little bit at a time. So Monday through Friday at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, the news with Grant Olson.
And if you see news happening, give us a call or message us on Facebook or on our website. Love to hear from you. If you have an
Absolutely.
idea for a news story, we'd like to hear that too.
We're going to find out very shortly whether we're going to take a commercial break or not. This will be interesting. So here we go.
Dear Merry Maids, please clean the kitchen, and the cabinets, and floors, and the chairs. And I wish you could clean the dog. Colin is now feeding himself. Thanks, Megan.
Hi, Megan. No worries. We got it all cleaned up. Let's hope Colin gets past the spaghetti flinging stage soon. Till then, we've got you covered. See you next time. Merry Maids.
When the time comes to propose, when you want to celebrate a birthday or an anniversary, when you want to mark a special milestone in someone's life, Clark's Jewelry has been providing quality jewelry at a fair price since 1977. Diamonds, gemstones, watches, necklaces, earrings, rings. Their professional staff will take the time and care to help you find the perfect piece of jewelry. Clark's Jewelry, always quality jewelry at a fair price.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by LocalTel. Old Time Radio Show It's a Wonderful Life is happening Thursday, December 21. Become a part of the live studio audience at 7:30 p.m. at the Numerica Performing Arts Center. The Leavenworth Nazarene Church presents their Living Nativity December 22 to 24 from 7 to 9 p.m. This free reenactment is narrated, has live animals, and a cast of characters. For more information, visit ncwlife.com.
Get that in this
21 minutes after the hour here on this Monday, the 18th day of December 2017. I'm Dan Kuntz. Let's wrap up your weekend that was in the world of sports. To the Les Schwab Prep Scoreboard we go from Friday night. In boys basketball, Wenatchee came from 14 points behind at halftime and they knock off the West Valley Rams 49-46. Eastmont used a 24-point third quarter to erase a 3-point halftime deficit. They went on to beat Eisenhower 68-66. Omak knocked off Chelan. Bridgeport over Waterville Mansfield, Brewster over Manson, and Yakima Tribal got the best of Aniat. That was boys on Friday. To the Les Schwab Prep Scoreboard, girls basketball on Friday. Allie Hallberg passed the 1,000 career point mark for the Wenatchee Panthers, but it was not enough as Wenatchee fell to West Valley, 50-37. Eastmont had 3 players in double figures as the Wildcats beat Eisenhower, 60-35. Waterville Mansfield over Bridgeport in a low-scoring game. Brewster over Manson in girls basketball on Friday night, and Aniat got the best of Yakima Tribal. Turning to the page, Saturday on the Les Schwab Prep Scoreboard, just 3 scores to pass along. The Davis Pirates beat Wenatchee in Wenatchee 56-44. West Valley rebounded with a 58-49 win over Eastmont, and Zilla no trouble with Chelan, winning 80-47. That was boys. On the girls' side Saturday, Davis completed the sweep of Wenatchee 56-44, West Valley over Eastmont, and Zilla over Chelan. Great weekend for the Wenatchee Wild against the Salmon Arm Silverbacks. At the Talon Toyota Center, Wenatchee earned a 4-0 shutout of Salmon Arm Friday. 2 goals from Lucas Sauter, 1 each from Josh Arnold and August von Unger Sternberger, and Seth Isley was a stonewall and goal, stopping all 25 shots he faced. And then Saturday, A.J. Vanderbeck scored 23 seconds into the game, and the onslaught was on as Wenatchee beat the Silverbacks 10-2. Art Checker had the call on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network.
Weatherby stands in and he'll line up across from Tanner Campbell. And we are ready to play some hockey here on a Saturday night. Picks it up back behind the net, spins, throws it at the net, and he scores! A.J. Vanderbeck, 23 seconds in. Sternberg, he's in, back on the left side, drop pass, shot, and a score! Through center, Chorney back in his own end, pass across, Christie, shot, score! Collected by Sauter, he guides it to the point. Morton touches it to Zek. He's in. He shoots. He scores! Salmon Arm hacks at it, trying to clear. Couldn't get it out. Held in. Weatherby in front. Shot and a score! Sam Morton. Demon to Sasaki now. In front for Arnold. He shoots and he scores! Dug out by Weatherby. He's in. He shoots. He scores! And now it's a 4-on-2 back the other way. Arnold sends it across for Stratton. Back across for Kim. Shot, tip, score! Swung over to Sasaki. He looks, threads it down low, and Weatherby in front, shot, score!
Nice 2-game sweep of the Wenatchee Wild over the weekend. The Wild head into the Christmas break. They are second in the Interior Division. They have 49 points. They are 23-9-2 on the year. I'm sorry, 23-9-2-1 on the year. Wenatchee will host Penticton on December 29th and 30th. At the Talon Toyota Center. Pete Carroll has been coaching the Seattle Seahawks for 8 years, and they have never lost as bad as they have during Pete Carroll's tenure as they did yesterday. The Rams 42-7, and it wasn't even that close. Todd Gurley rushed for 148 of his 152 yards in the first half. The Rams built a 37-0 halftime lead. Gurley rushed for 3 touchdowns, scored another on a reception as the Rams basically wrapped up the NFC West for the first time since 2003. While everything was going right for LA, nothing went right for Seattle, who netted a total of 149 yards of offense. Pete Carroll said it was a good old-fashioned butt whipping by the Rams.
Well, that was let me say it this way, tremendous showing by the Rams. They played fantastic football from start to finish. Really owned the field all day long. We were in terrible field position throughout. Could knock our way out of it, and they took full advantage of that with a bunch of short drives and just executed well enough to have a fantastic game. We've not seen us play like that and seen that kind of result. And so it's on all of us to hold ourselves accountable. We didn't do that right from any aspect of it. So I give them a lot of credit. They've been playing terrific football all year long. This was an opportunity for us to match up for first place, and they obviously were on it, and we weren't.
Not a good day for Russell Wilson. Doesn't help when he gets sacked 7 times. For Russell Wilson, just 14 of 30 passing for 142 yards. So here are the standings. In the NFC West, it looks like this. LA improves to 10-5 with the win. Seahawks drop to 8-6 with the loss. Also Sunday, San Francisco surprised Tennessee with a 25-23 win, and Washington topped Arizona 20-15. The scenario for the playoffs is not good. Stay with me on this. Philadelphia and Minnesota, they have clinched their divisions. They're in the playoffs. The Rams are basically in with 2 games to go. New Orleans and Carolina both have already won 10 wins, and they're solid. They're going to make the playoffs. It sure looks like it. Atlanta plays tonight against Tampa Bay, so Seattle fans need to cheer for their fellow expansion team from 1976 to beat the Falcons tonight. So the Seahawks, they need to win out. They can't lose anymore. They need to beat Dallas Sunday, and they need to beat the Cardinals on New Year's Eve. After tonight, Atlanta will play at New Orleans before they host Carolina. They need to lose one of those 2 games as well. If that plays out, Seattle would also need Detroit to lose one of its 2 remaining games at Cincinnati or at home against Green Bay. They will be a test later on. It's 27 minutes after the hour. Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz. It's the 18th day of December. The obscure holiday of the day today is National Bake Cookies Day. I don't know anybody who doesn't love cookies. Now, there are people who don't like pizza and people who don't like watermelon. But everybody loves cookies. I mean, everybody loves cookies because cookies, there's how many different varieties of cookies? Thousands of them. And of course, cookies are a holiday staple. I mean, Bake Cookie Day comes at a very opportune time, wouldn't you say, for the December holiday season. So here's a good tip. Bake more cookies than you could possibly eat and then just give them away to people. Fill up the trays and give cookies to friends and neighbors. So today is Bake Cookies Day. My guess is tomorrow, and I don't know yet, I haven't done the research, but my guess is tomorrow will be Eat Cookies Day. Should be, anyway. Cookies. The big glass of milk. Sounds good. 28 minutes after the hour. Today in history, we always like to welcome a new state to the Union. We do so now with New Jersey, the Garden State. State number 3 of our 50. It was 230 years ago today that New Jersey became the 3rd state of the Union when they ratified the U.S. Constitution. So New Jersey is 230 years old today. New Jersey, of course, is known as the Garden State. I don't know why. New Jersey is the only state in America that does not have a state song. They've tried a bunch of times to get an official state song. It just hasn't happened. And when you think about it, the amazing musical heritage that New Jersey has given the rest of America. New Jersey, the birthplace of Frank Sinatra and Bruce Springsteen and Lauryn Hill and Count Basie and Bon Jovi. What a great, rich musical tradition New Jersey has, and yet they don't have a state song. I find that interesting. And a fun fact about New Jersey you probably didn't know. The Revolutionary War began when the American colonies tried to get rid of New Jersey, and things just got out of hand. Happy birthday, New Jersey, 230 years ago today. And the birth of the Super Bowl can best be traced back to this date 85 years ago today. The Chicago Bears defeated the Portsmouth Spartans in the very first NFL championship game. They were tied at the end of the regular season, and then all the tiebreakers that fell into place. There was no playoff game before 1932, essentially. They just played the regular season, and the team with the best record was declared the champion of the National Football League. Well, they had the exact same record, including ties. And so they decided to go ahead and do a playoff game, a championship game, the Bears and the Spartans, and it snowed and sleet and rained, and so they moved it inside to the Chicago Stadium. That game was played indoors. And they played, obviously, in a reduced-sized field. And the Bears defeated the Portsmouth Spartans in the very first NFL championship game, the first Super Bowl, if you will, 85 years ago today. And at 30 minutes after the hour, we got some celebrity birthdays to pass along to you. One of the greatest baseball players of all time, not necessarily a nice guy, but his baseball skills are undeniable. Ty Cobb was born on this date. The Georgia Peach was his nickname. His batting average of .367 is still the best of all time. That might be one of the baseball records that will never, ever be surpassed. And he still holds something like a dozen records all these many, many years after he retired from baseball. Ty Cobb passed away at the age of 74 back in 1961. The American baseball player and manager, Ty Cobb, born on this date in 1886. Keith Richards is 75. I don't know how he does it. There's Keith. I saw him on TV the other day. He's a lovely shade of blue. Keith Richards, to me, the leader of the Rolling Stones. Nothing against Sir Mick Jagger. Mick Jagger's a talented guy, but to me, the heart and soul of the Rolling Stones is Keith Richards, and he keeps going. He's 75 years old today. I lost a lot of bets with that guy, Keith Richards. Happy birthday, Keith, and we'll listen to some Stones when I get home today. Steven Spielberg, probably the greatest director ever. I think he has that claim. Steven Spielberg is 71 years old today. Jaws, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Raiders of the Lost Ark, The Color Purple, Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan, Lincoln, Jurassic Park. The brand new movie called The Post, about the Pentagon Papers of the early 1970s, is directed by Steven Spielberg. That'll be coming out shortly. I can't wait to see that movie. Steven Spielberg, the best director of all time? I think he is. He's 71 years old today. And speaking of Hollywood, Brad Pitt is 54 years old today. One of my favorite Brad Pitt stories. Nobody knew who Brad Pitt was. He was a completely unknown actor when he had his small little role in Thelma and Louise. Remember his little role in Thelma and Louise? And I was with my girlfriend at the time. We were at the movies watching Thelma and Louise, and Brad Pitt comes on the screen and she goes, "He's really cute." We didn't date much longer after that. Of course, A River Runs Through It, Legends of the Fall, Seven, great movie, Fight Club, Ocean's 11. He produced The Departed, which won the Academy Award for Best Picture, and also produced 12 Years a Slave, so he's got a couple of Academy Awards. Pretty talented guy, too, Brad Pitt. Not just another pretty face. He's 54 years old today, 32 minutes after the hour. Les Schwab Community Toy Drive, a resounding success thanks to you people out there. What an incredible job that you folks did to help us make this work. We didn't know what was going to happen when this whole Les Schwab Community Toy Drive got underway with our friends at Les Schwab and the Wenatchee World and Sykestra Motors and Country 104.7 and Columbia Valley Community Health and Works and Hooked On Toys. They did the big final push on Saturday. I dropped by Hooked On Toys. It was a sea of humanity, and those big, huge boxes were full of those new unwrapped toys. In fact, in our second half of the show, of course, with Sue Baker coming in from CASA. CASA is one of the 4 organizations that will be benefiting from these toys. So thank you, North Central Washington, for making the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive a resounding success. And my guess is we'll do it again next year. Certainly hope so. And finally, a little reminder to shop local here. For the holiday season, I want to talk specifically about Liberty Orchards, applets and cotlets. You're not going to find them anywhere. Applets and cotlets, Liberty Orchards, hand in hand. This is the kind of gift that you want to get and you want to ship off to your friends wherever they may be who can't come to North Central Washington and the Wenatchee Valley for the holidays, because it is a staple of North Central Washington. So if you have friends in New York or Chicago or LA or wherever the case may be, and you want to give them a little taste of home, pick up a box of applets and cotlets and ship it, courtesy of our friends at Liberty Orchards. And don't forget, you can do the tour of the Liberty Orchards factory. It's pretty cool. And by the way, they have sugar-free stuff and candy that's as healthy for you as it can possibly be. Applets and cotlets, especially cotlets. I love them. Liberty Orchards. Drop by and see them, our good friends in Kashmir. 34 minutes after the hour. Everyone is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion here. He's just a couple of minutes away, and then Sue Baker from CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocacy, will be dropping by. And don't forget, Mike's guest today at 10 o'clock live from this very studio and Street Talk and other stuff, Santa Claus. Santa Claus in studio, a special edition of Street Talk. Heck, I might even watch. Mike Magnotti's opinion is 2 minutes away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Family means something in these parts. Family owned and operated means even more. At Rose Tractor, you're buying more than a product. You're buying years of knowledge through multiple generations. It means you can count on Rose for quality products, quality repairs, and folks who stand behind the products they sell. From your job site to your home to rentals and repairs to new outdoor power equipment, Rose Tractor is growing with you throughout the years. Rose Tractor, quality brands you can trust year after year.
Hi, I'm Lonnie Boucher, attorney and owner of EstateEdge.com. If you died unexpectedly, who would take care of your estate, your minor children? EstateEdge.com is your online resource to obtain a simple will and other important estate planning documents. Having a will allows you to plan in advance for the protection of your estate and the care and custody of your children. For your peace of mind, go to EstateEdge.com today.
If you're stuck trying to find the perfect beer for you, look no further than Badger Mountain Brewing. We specialize in creating tantalizing craft beers that will soothe any picky taste buds and will satisfy your cravings. Check out everything from our amazing honey blonde that will appease even the most finicky taster, or a delicious frothy stout for dark beer lovers. Experience them all at Badger Mountain Brewing.
Quality, comfort, style, service. This is the Crown Furniture difference for more than 50 years. Their commitment to you is to provide the best furniture and mattresses the industry has to offer at a great price. Shop Crown Furniture today to experience the difference. And remember, free setup, delivery, and haul away in their service area is just another way they show they care.
Crown Furniture, where prices really are lower.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, alcohol doesn't cause abusive or aggressive behavior, but it lowers inhibitions. So what is already inside the consumer can come out. In vino veritas, as they say, wherever Latin is spoken. Now, President Trump, he's like alcohol. Now, he doesn't cause racism and bigotry, but he's providing an atmosphere where it can be expressed from where it already exists. Now, despite what knee-jerk responses might cause in some of my liberal friends, thinking this is some sort of supportive post or justification for the man, no, I'm sorry, it's not. But despite his personal peccadillos, Trump isn't causing hatred in anyone. Blaming him, therefore, is only partially correct. Oh, by the way, alcohol is also a central nervous system depressant, if you get my drift. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Having a relationship with your pediatrician is so important. Feeling that sense of trust, that is priceless. I tell everybody about CBCH. I love it there. When I make an appointment, I don't have to take an entire day off. As a working mom, my life is really busy. Family time is everything. That's what we all work towards. And I feel like CBCH respects that.
Christmas is charming. Christmas is Santa Claus. Christmas is collectible. Christmas is whimsical. Capture Christmas at Kris Kringle.
Is search engine optimization right for my business? Maybe. Studies show the first and second search results get 50% of all the clicks. But you have to fight national chains to get there. If the user has to scroll down to find you, tough luck. You could hide a dead body on page 2 and the whole zombie apocalypse on page 3. Or you could spend less and get an ad in the Impact Big Print phone book, giving local businesses a chance to shine.
Impact Directories. Bigger print, better book.
Thursday night, hockey night on the NCW Life Channel. It all begins at 7 o'clock with a Call of the Wild and Clarkie's Corner. Then it's non-stop hockey action with a voice of the Wild, Arch Ecker. Join us as the Wild battle the rest of the BCHL. Thursday night is hockey night on the NCW Life Channel.
"41 minutes after the hour." I was very excited when Sue walked into our studios about 6:45 this morning because she watches the show. If I'd have known that, I would have invited you a long time ago. Sue Baker is joining me. She's Executive Director of CASA, Court Appointed Special Advocacy. Sue, your microphone got out of position there, young lady. There you go. Oh, does that work?
That work?
Oh, you know what happened? I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take a little break. It actually fell all the way down. The only thing that's there is the clip.
Okay.
Live TV. We'll take a quick break and get Sue re-mic'd here. You're watching a very abbreviated interview with Sue on Wake Up.
I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life Channel.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Life Sports.
I'm NCW Life News Director Steve Hare.
Catch us on LocalTel Channel 12.
You can watch us on Charter Channel 19 or stream us live on ncwlife.com.
Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Where we cover the local high schools, the Wenatchee Wild, and the pro teams out of Seattle.
On Saturday, we have a 90% chance of rain.
Catch it all right here on the NCW Life Channel.
Winter weather has arrived in the Wenatchee Valley, and it's no fun to be stuck outside in the cold, and your dog or cat don't appreciate it either. Paws and Claws Veterinarian Hospital would like to remind you that your pet is susceptible to hypothermia and frostbite just like you. After going outside, wipe off their paws to prevent them from licking de-icer or antifreeze. Dr. Shauna Bayes and her staff care about your pets. If your pet needs medical attention, call 888-PAWS or find them on 4th and Nile in East Wenatchee.
So what do you think so far, Sue?
It's great. I'm glad we got that fixed.
The microphone is in the position it's supposed to be, and Sue Baker, the Executive Director of CASA, Court Appointed Special Advocacy, one of the 4 beneficiaries of the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive. And let's start with that, the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive. Who reached out to who? How come your great organization gets a bunch of toys?
You know, I'm not quite sure how it came around, but I think Katie High at work suggested us. They last year during their ugly sweater run, they made us the recipient of the funds that came in from that and toys. And then she's been very active in this toy drive. So we were picked along with Serve Wenatchee and the Bruce Transitional, and now Children's Home Society.
Well, you got a room full of toys
that
you're going to pick up here a little bit later on today.
It is incredible what everybody in this community has done for our kids. And we're doing the Christmas Sock Project, which we've been doing for over 17 years. And so this toy drive made it really a wonderful outcome for our kids.
And you told me off air, because when we started launching this a few weeks ago with our guy Eric as the lead agency, lead person from our TV station, we really didn't know what we were in for. You know, we got all these great businesses on board to have the collection boxes, but there's a lot of unknowns, much more unknowns than knowns. But you predicted that this was going to be a huge success.
Oh, yes, yes. Just because I think we've done this with the community for so many years. Our community, the people here in this valley, really care about the other people in this community. And they will, if you put it out there, what your needs are. They step forward every time. To me, it's heartwarming in a day when, and especially around the holidays, when there are so many people that don't have families to care for them, don't have the means to have even a small Christmas, and yet they'll step forward. We've seen children, for instance, at Foothills Middle School, the kids all go together and bring gifts for our kids. And we go down and pick them up, and they load up the van, and they have a great time. Some of those kids don't have anything of their own, but they'll make sure that they do something for another child. And so to be able to see that in our community is heartwarming.
You're going to make me cry. You got to quit doing that. I'm going to get all tearied up here. How do you at CASA decide what kids get what toys? Is that the next step after today when you pick up your toys? Or?
What we do, we've already been busy doing Christmas socks, stuffing Christmas socks and getting them ready for kids. So our kids have a list of what they want. You know, so that we have an idea. But then the community, like I said, besides our toys from the toy drive, the community will, like a family, will go together and maybe they have a 7-year-old child, a little boy, and they'll go out and they'll fill a sock for a 7-year-old boy. And then it comes into us and we know then that's, you know, we try to match that up then with a 7-year-old boy. So that's how we do it. And it's on Saturday while I was down and hooked on toys, receiving gifts.
Boy, wasn't that a madhouse?
Oh,
wasn't it crazy? It was
something
neat.
else. And to see all of the things that came in, you know, people would walk out of Hooked on Toys and drop things in the boxes, and yeah, it was lots of fun. But down at Santa Central, that we call it, they were busy stuffing toys and, you know, having a great time. So.
How many kids are going to end up getting toys from that are in the CASA program?
Well, we have, we're serving right now 197 kids. I know.
You're kidding me.
No, it's way too many.
Oh, that's 197 too many for me. 197 kids from the CASA program right now?
Right. Yeah, we've seen a huge increase. So.
How do you account for that?
Well, the opioid, see, I can't even pronounce it. Opioid epidemic is part of it. But you know, Steve and I were talking about that's been around for quite some time. So it's just, I think that the public's becoming more aware of it, and there's a lot more overdosing, and people dying every day across the United States. But then the effects on the children in those homes, it's devastating.
They're making the decision to spend their money on their drugs and not on their kids.
I think it's not just the money, it's that it interferes with their ability to keep their own children safe and provide for the basic needs of their kids. The drugs consume the adult. And you know, I've always said that people that get involved in what I call the system, where the children end up being removed, they want the same for their kids as you want for yours, that I want for mine. They want their children to grow up to be successful and loved and caring, and you know, too often drugs interfere with that ability. They want the best for their kids. They just can't.
197, is that like the new record for CASA? Have you ever had that many? That's just...
Actually, we were up to 102, and that was, we didn't have enough volunteers to be able to advocate for those kids. For the first time, staff was taking on cases. And we don't look at that as a really good thing, because you can't give the time to the child and to the case if staff is carrying cases. So we recruited and we put a big effort into bringing new volunteers on board, and we graduated a class of 17 volunteers, so we were able to
alleviate some of that backlog a little bit.
Yeah.
It's Chelan Douglas CASA, so your footprint is Chelan and Douglas County only, or is that it?
Yes.
Still 197 in the two-county area is a stunningly alarming number.
It is. And we also have some kids that are placed here from outside the community. So we'll do courtesy CASA work for maybe another CASA program from Pierce County or King County, that kind of thing too. So to make sure the kids are seen every month.
Court-appointed special advocacy launched 1994?
Yes.
Oh, good
memory.
Thank you. It's been a resounding success. It was something that absolutely needed to have happened. And for the uninitiated who are not familiar with CASA, let folks know what exactly CASA does, what your mission is.
Okay, well, we did start in 1994. A couple of foster parents came to me and asked me if I'd look into helping them start a CASA program here in the Valley. I had been a CASA, or a guardian ad litem, as it's called, in King County, and volunteered there. So I said, sure, I'd be happy, you know, if the judges want the program here, and I'd be happy to start that, help you start that, and ended up, I'm still here. I'm not quite sure how that worked. But I then, one of the first things we did is we went to speak with Carol Wardell, who was a Superior Court judge at the time, and Marlene Smith, who was the juvenile court administrator. And the both of them wanted the program and then helped get it started. So we started off with 4 volunteers, and then we were serving both counties because it was a combined judicial district. So.
And your job is strictly to make sure that the kids who get caught in the legal system through no real, they're not at fault.
Right.
But they're caught in the web of what is the legal system, and they're in it now, and they need somebody to advocate for their rights and what is best for them, and this is where you this is where you come in.
We have the volunteer model that is a guardian ad litem for the child for that case, and it's for children that have been removed from their homes due to abuse and neglect. That's the only time we get appointed. We're appointed by the courts. So we sometimes get calls from people that would like for us to advocate for their child or their grandchild, but we're not able to do that. We can only do the children that come into the system through the court system. And then it's their job to gather all the information about the case and put together recommendations for the court, and let them know what we think is in the best interest of that child. And our hopes are to get the kids in and out of the system as quickly as possible, and back home with their parents, if at all possible.
The volunteers who take on a case for CASA, how much time are they actually spending with the kid themselves, or children, as the case may be? I mean, they're sitting down and talking to them. And
right. They don't, you know, they see the child 1 to 2 times a month, and they'll see the child in their home setting, whether it be a foster home, a relative placement, or back home with their parents. They'll also talk to all of the service providers, the schools, the doctors, the mental health therapists, those kind of things, and gather information about how that child's doing, and making sure that the services that the child needs are happening in a timely manner, so that none of our kids are sitting and waiting for a mental health assessment, for instance, that their school needs are being met, because you've just disrupted what their family is all about and put them in often strange homes. And so it carries over into all the different domains for our kids.
Every kid is different, but this has got to be an incredibly stressful and confusing time for any kid who has to follow, who becomes part of the CASA program. Life is upside down. I mean, that must be terribly frustrating and emotional and all that stuff.
Oh, it is. You know, that's their family. Whatever the dynamics are in that family, that's their family. So when they are pulled out of that home and placed into a new home, foster care, even though the foster parents are very kind, very gentle, are trained in knowing how to, you know, help the children transition into their home, it is still, it's still a move. And if you can imagine somebody coming in and taking your own children and then placing them out in another home without them knowing anything about and what that would be like. So it is frustrating for our kids, but it just leaves a huge hole in their hearts.
How are we doing for foster homes? Do we need more? I suppose we always need more.
We do need more. In fact, Fostering Washington is here in our community, and their job is to recruit and train and get more foster homes. And so we have a need in our valley of foster homes for teen girls, teen boys and for children that might have disabilities that need special care. And so Foster Washington, part of theirs is recruiting, but Children's Home Society has therapeutic homes, so they're always recruiting also. And that's a little higher level of care that a child might need. And then we also have a group home, behavioral homes called Community Resource Group here. So there's several different opportunities to get involved. And there's ways to get involved in other things that, you know, our kids need also for the public.
Does it work from a parenting standpoint? And I'll draw this analogy. Mr. and Mrs. John Doe, you're not cutting it. You're neglecting your child. Your life is going off the rails where you're taking your kid from you until you get it cleaned up. Does that work? Do they say, okay, that's it. I'm done with it. I want my kids back, and I want to lead a normal life.
Yes.
And
Yes.
It does.
I mean, you know, I try to imagine that your child's taken from you. And I think that's the best way to really look at it. It often is the call to get their life together. It's hard work because by the time our kids come into the system, usually the parents have lost everything. They are living in poverty. They have no resources, often have no family members left that are supporting them. So when they decide that they need to literally get their act together, it's hard work. It is very hard work, and they can do it for their kids. And I've seen them do it. It is so heartwarming to see when a child goes home and they can start rebuilding their life. And that's another thing about our community. One of the things that our families need are the supports in the community. So there are local churches, there's different resources that help them, because often they're homeless, they have no place to live, and they haven't been involved in the child's school, those kind of things. So it needs to be the community helping, and they can be successful.
Sue Baker is my guest. We just have a couple of minutes left.
Okay.
You talked about hard work. We're not going to sugarcoat this next part of it. Volunteering for CASA is a huge time commitment and a training, but the rewards are tenfold. Real quickly, how do people get involved with CASA from a volunteering standpoint?
Okay, so we have a new training starting in January, so training is provided free. We anticipate you're going to be working at this about 7 to 10 hours a month, but up front, when it's a brand new, you'll spend more time than that. Many of my volunteers, we have 97 volunteers, and many of them work full-time. So it can be done if you are working, as long as your employer is supportive in helping out in certain ways by allowing you to come to court, that kind of thing. But you just give us a call at 662-7350 or go to our website, which is cdcasa.org, and it'll give you an application and you can fill that out. You have to go through a criminal background check. We do the child abuse registry, criminal, driver's license. Also, you need to pass those. You need to be 21 years of age and have a true caring for children in our community.
Sue, keep up the good work.
Oh,
it's
thank
always
you.
a pleasure to see you. And we'll have you back again when you do the big bowl-a-thon.
Okay.
Coming up. We'll have you back on again to talk about that.
Yeah,
all right?
that's
All right.
February.
That's February.
Great.
Can't be soon enough. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Thank you very much. And I just wanted to say quickly, thank you to the Les Schwab Toy Drive.
Yes.
I mean, they've been incredible.
They've been incredible.
You know, so go by and tell them thank you.
Yes, Les Schwab, great folks. I agree with you 100%. Everybody have a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.